Welcome to Lesson 5 of the Docker Beginners series. This is where things start to click. Up to now, you've been running containers in isolation. But real apps aren't islands. A web service needs a database, a queue, a cache. Today, we wire them together. No IP juggling, no port gymnastics. Just containers finding each other by name on a shared network. Here's the map for the next few minutes. First, you'll learn why Docker's default bridge network is fine for demos, but not for real apps, and what user-defined bridges give you instead. Then, the payoff. Service discovery by name, where DB just resolves to the right container. After that, the three network types, bridge, host, and none, and when each makes sense. And finally, the CLI commands to create, connect, and inspect those networks yourself. Before we touch any commands, hold this picture in your head. A Docker network is just a private LAN. Plug containers into the same network, web, API, DB, and they can all talk to each other. Leave one off, like our lonely container on the right, and it's invisible to the rest. Same idea as a physical switch in a server rack, except Docker spins one up the moment you ask for it. Now, Docker does give you a network out of the box, the default bridge. Every container you run lands on it automatically, but it's the basement apartment. No DNS, so containers can only find each other by raw IP, and those IPs change every restart. Everyone shares it. Nothing is configurable. A user-defined bridge flips all of that. Containers find each other by name, you choose who joins, and you control the subnet. That's the one you actually want. And here's the magic trick. Create a network. Start your database with the name DB. Start your web container on the same network. And now web can just ping DB. Docker's built-in DNS resolves the name to whatever IP the container happens to have. Your app's config goes from a brittle 192.168 address to simply DB54432. The IP can change all at once. The name is stable. That's the whole idea behind Compose, which we'll get to in Lesson 8. So how do you actually drive this? 5 commands. And if you've touched volumes before, the shape is identical. You create a network, list what exists, inspect one to see its subnet and who's attached, connect or disconnect a running container on the fly, and finally remove a network, though only when nothing's using it. That's the whole surface area. Bridge, AppNet, host, none. They all show up in one tidy table. Now, those tables show 3 drivers, and each one makes a different trade. Bridge is the default, isolated, private, perfect for web apps talking to databases. Host strips away the isolation entirely. Your container shares the host's network stack, which is fast but means 2 copies will fight over the same port. None is exactly what it sounds like. No network at all, ideal for sandboxed jobs that just touch files. 99% of the time, you'll reach for bridge. Once you're comfortable with bridge, here are 6 moves that take you from hobbyist to operator. Network aliases give one container several DNS names. Gold for blue-green cutovers. You can attach a running container to a new network without restarting it, or pin it to a static IP when something upstream demands a fixed address. Carve out custom subnets to dodge clashes with your corporate VPN, inspect a bridge to see exactly who's connected, and use AdHost to make an external server resolve by name just like a container would. And here's the whole lesson on one page. 12 patterns worth pinning to a second monitor. The left column is lifecycle. Create, delete, connect, disconnect. The middle is inspection and cleanup, plus the 2 escape hatches, host, and none. The right column is the power tools. Inspect a network, join one at runtime, add an alias, or fake a host's entry. Learn these 12, and Docker networking stops being mysterious. Now for the traps everyone falls into at least once. Inside a container, localhost means itself. Not your laptop, not the database next door. Use the other container's name. Skip the default bridge for real apps because it has no DNS and IPs shift on every restart. Make sure your published port matches what the app actually listens on, that every container joins the same user-defined network, and if your corporate VPN clashes with Docker's default subnet, carve out your own with subnet. Time to put hands on keys. 3 short exercises building on each other. First, create AppNet. Run 2 Alpine containers named A and B, and ping one from the other by name. Then bring up Nginx as web and curl it from a client container on the same network. Finally, inspect the network, read the IPs, disconnect the containers, and tear it all down. Do these once, and name-based discovery stops being theory. And that's lesson 5 in the bag. User-defined bridges, DNS by name, the 3 built-in network modes, plus connect and inspect. You've got the toolkit. Containers talk now, but you're still running other people's images. In lesson 6, we fix that. From, copy, run, CMD, and a Docker file that ships your app. See you there.